temptation, but the surest is cowardice.
Classic. A book which people praise and don't read.
It takes your enemy and your friend working together to hurt you to the heart, the one to slander you and the other to get the news to you.
Few things are harder to put up with than the annoyance of a good example.
If you hope to succeed in any endeavor, first get all the fools in town on your side. That's a big enough majority in any town.
Good breeding consists in concealing how much we think of ourselves and how little we think of the other person.
Put all of your eggs in one basket and watch that basket. Be good and you will be lonesome.
If you pick up a starving dog and make him prosperous, he will not bite you. This is the principal difference between a dog and a man.
Familiarity breeds contempt and children.
The holy passion of friendship is so loyal and enduring in nature that it'll last a whole lifetime, if not asked to lend money.
Self and education are not as sudden as a massacre, but they are more deadly in the long run.
When angry, come to fore. When very angry, swear.
At this time, we would like to read a letter to the audience from the author under consideration this evening, Mr. Mark Twain. We would like to. Unfortunately, we were unable to find such a letter. What we were able to find, understandably perhaps, considering the gravity to which Mark Twain was given, is the following postcards to the audience, which we hope will suffice. Dear audience,
Persons attempting to find a motive in this presentation will be prosecuted. Persons attempting to find a moral in it shall be banished. And persons attempting to find a plot shall be shot. Cordially,
Mark Twain.
And in the beginning, God created man. Not at the very beginning, but near the beginning.
And from the beginning, man differed from the rest of the animals because man had the ability to think, the ability to question.
One of the questions that has burdened man since his creation is why he was created. Many answers have been proposed, including that of Mark Twain, who said, "I believe our Heavenly Father invented man because he was disappointed in the monkey."
Aside from his ability to think, man has always possessed other distinguishing characteristics. As Mark Twain said, man is the only animal that blushes. Or needs to.
At the time of his creation, man is God's crowning achievement, created in God's own image and likeness. Eventually, man turned away from his benevolent creator and rejected God completely.
This transgression so aroused the wrath of the Almighty that he decided to destroy man. That is, all men except one.
Noah, a good man and his family were to be saved by the construction of an ark. It would carry them safely over the waters of the great flood. And in this way, the race of man was given a second chance and increased its numbers and flourished.
But eventually, mankind produced an atheist, and God wondered if he had made a mistake. Later, said Twain, the race produced an insurance salesman, and he was certain that he had.
Some would say that Noah was responsible for the events that followed his successful voyage, but Noah was only concerned with building the ark. If he were to undertake that project today, however, he'd be faced with many other concerns.
For man has learned the importance of being more particular in the great art of shipbuilding, of being more careful of human life. And so, civilization created a bureaucrat, who, in time, created a bureaucracy, which was charged with ensuring that certain guidelines and standards were complied with.
Interesting ship.
It's an ark.
An ark, you say?
Yes.
Well, in that case, we'll need a Form 621, government safety compliance, and nautical regulation checklist for arks. Now, what is your length?
600 feet.
Depth?
65.
Beam?
50 or 60.
Constructed of?
Wood.
What kind?
Buoyant, hopefully.
Passengers?
8.
Sex?
Half male, the other's female.
Ages?
From 100 years up.
Up to where?
Oh, about 600.
Ah, going to Florida. Good idea, too. Doctor's name?
We have no doctor.
You must get a doctor. Also an undertaker. Particularly an undertaker. Group?
The same age.
Same age?
Yes, sir.
Half of them women?
Yes, sir.
Have they ever served as seamen before?
No, sir.
Have the men?
No, sir.
Have any of you ever been to sea?
No, sir.
Where were you raised?
On a farm, all of us.
This vessel will require a crew of 800 men. She must have 4 mates and 9 cooks. Who is the captain?
I am.
You must get a captain. Also sick nurses. Cargo.
Animals.
How many?
Big ones, 7,000. Big and little together, 98,000.
Very well. You must provide 1,200 keepers. Now, what is your motive power?
What is my wish?
Motive power. What power do you use in driving the ship?
No.
You must provide either sails or steam. May I ask how long you expect your voyage to last?
Oh, 11 or 12 months.
11 or 12 months. Pretty slow. May I ask what the animals are for?
Just to breed others from.
Others? You mean you don't have enough?
Well, for the present needs of civilization, yes, but there's going to be a great flood, and these are just to renew the supply.
A flood?
Yes, sir.
Are you sure of that?
Perfectly sure. It's going to rain 40 days and 40 nights.
I guess we could use some rain.
Not this kind of rain. This rain is going to cover the mountaintops, and the earth will pass from sight.
Well, in that case, I have to withdraw the option I gave you as the sails or steam. You must use steam. You'll have to have condensed water for the animals' water supply.
But I was going to dip water from outside the ship with buckets.
No, no, no. Before the flood reaches the mountaintops, the fresh water will have joined the salt sea, and it will all be salt. You must use steam and condense your water. Now, we can correct this handful of minor discrepancies. You should be shipshape and ready to sail.
I had to do all this before I can sail? This could take months.
Work weekends.
It's against my religion to work weekends.
You should have told me that you're a bureaucrat. Let's see if we can alleviate some of this red tape for you. You know, my brother-in-law works for the Coast Guard.
You know, that's very interesting.
Mark Twain, whose real name was Samuel treatment, Twain reported, doctors are about as successful here, both in killing and curing, as they are anywhere. Some goods and services were in short supply. Hotels, for example. Twain said that good hotels in California were as rare, perhaps, as lawyers in heaven. But the most common question put to Twain at this time was, what about the earthquakes? Are they really as rare and as frequent as people say? Realizing the need for a scientifically accurate report, Twain rose to the challenge by writing
A page from a Californian almanac. October 17th. Weather hazy. Atmosphere murky and dense. An expression of profound melancholy will be observable on most faces. October 18th. Slight earthquake. Faces grow more melancholy. October 19th. Look out for rain. It would be absurd to look in for it. The general depression of spirits increases. October 20th. More weather. October 21st. The same. October 22nd. Light winds, perhaps. If they blow, they'll be from the eastern, or the western, or the northern, or the southern, or from some general direction approximating more or less to one of those points. October 23rd, mild, balmy earthquakes. October 24th, shaky. October 25th, occasional shakes followed by light showers of bricks and plastering. October 26th, considerable phenomenal atmospheric foolishness. October 27th, universal despondency indicative of approaching disaster. Abstain from all smiling or indulgence in a humorous activity. October 28th, misery, dismal forebodings, and despair. Beware of all light discourse. A joke uttered at this time would produce a popular outbreak. October 29th, beware. October 30th, depression peaks. October 31st, go slow. November 1st, terrific earthquake. This is the great earthquake month. More stars fall and more worlds are splattered around carelessly and destroyed in November than in any other month of the 12. November 2nd, spasmodic but exhilarating earthquakes, accompanied by showers of rain and churches and things. November 3rd, make your will. November 4th, sell out. November 5th, select your last words. November 6th, prepare to shed this mortal coil. November 8th, shed. November 9th, the sun will rise as usual, perhaps, but if he does, he will doubtless be staggered some to find nothing but a large round hole, 8,000 miles in diameter, in the place where he saw this world serenely spinning just the day before. Not too dramatic, perhaps, but accurate.
I spent 32 years as a newspaper editor, and I never once knew a reporter like young Sam Clemens. Once I tried to impart some of my editorial wisdom upon his young mind. I told him, never report anything as fact, unless you can verify it as personal knowledge. That night, he covered a very important social event. And the next day, he filed his report. A woman giving the name of Miss James Jones, who is reported to be one of the society leaders of the city, is said to have given what purported to be a party to a group of alleged ladies. The hostess claims to be a wife of a reputed attorney.
The juvenile pariah of the village of St. Petersburg was Huckleberry Finn, son of the town drunkard. Huckleberry came and went at his He could go swimming or fishing when and where he chose and stay as long as it suited him. Huckleberry was warmly hated and dreaded by all mothers of the town because he was idle and lawless and vulgar, and because all their children admired him so. Tom Sawyer was like the rest of the respectable boys in that he envied Huckleberry his gaudy outcast condition and was under strict orders not to play with him. So, he played with him every time he got a chance.
Hello, Huckleberry! Hello yourself and see how you like it. Well, what's that you got, dead cat? Let me see him. My, he's pretty stiff. What's dead cats good for, Huck? Good for cure warts with. Cure warts? Why, I know something's better. I bet you don't. Spunk water. Spunk water? I wouldn't give a darn for spunk water. Well, have you ever tried it? No, I ain't. Bob Tanner did. Well, you tell me how Bob Tanner done it, Huck. Well, he just took and dipped his hand in the round stump where the rainwater was. In the daytime? Certainly. Was his face to the stump? Yeah, at least I reckon so. Did it say anything? No, I don't reckon he did. Talk about trying to cure warts such a darn fool way as that. Why, everybody knows you gotta go out to the middle of the woods. Right where you know there's a spunk water stump. And just as it's midnight, you back up against the stump and you jam your hand in there and you say, barley corn, engine meal shorts, spunk water, swallow these warts. You pull your hand out and you walk away, quick, 7 steps with your eyes shut. You turn around 3 times. And then you walk home without saying a word to nobody. Because if you talk, the charm's busted. Yeah, that sounds like a good way. Well, that ain't the way Bob Tanner done it. Why, you can bet it ain't, because he's the wartiest boy in town. Why? Wouldn't have a wart on him if he knowed how to use spunk water. I play with frogs so much, I've always got considerable many warts. Also use the bean to take them all. Yeah, bean's good, I've done that. Really, Huck? What's your way? Well, you take and you split the bean, and then you cut the waters to draw some blood from it, and you put it on a piece of the bean. Then you go and you dig a hole and you bury that piece just about midnight at the crossroads in the dark of the moon. And then you take the other piece of the bean and you burn it. You see? The piece of the blood on it keep Joe and Joe trying to fetch the other piece to it. And that helps the blood to draw the water. Pretty soon, off she comes. Well, that sounds right, but it also helps if you say, down bean, off water. Come no more to bother me. But say, Huck, how do you cure him with dead cat? Well, go to the graveyard long about midnight when somebody that was wicked was buried. Just as it's midnight, a devil will come, or maybe 2 or 3, but you can't say him. You can only hear something like the wind, or maybe hear him talking. And just as it's midnight, just as they're carrying the corpse away, you heave your cat after him, saying, devil foul corpse, cat foul devil, warts foul cat, I'm done with you. They don't fetch any wart. Sounds right. You ever tried? No. But old Mother Hopkins told me. Well, I reckon it's so then, because they say she's a witch. Say, Tom, I know she is. She was Pat. Pat come along one day, and he see she was a witch now. So he took a rock and threw it at her. If she hadn't dodged, she'd have got her. And that very night, Pat was laying on the shed drunk. He rolled off and broke his arm. Well, that's awful. But how did he know she was a witch in him? Lord, Pat can tell easy. He says when they're looking at you right steady, they're witching you. Especially if they mumble. So when they mumble, they're saying the Lord's Prayer backwards. Well, how to play? You When are you gonna try the cat? Tonight. Reckon they'll go after Hoss Williams tonight. But say, Huck, they buried him on Saturday. Wouldn't they come after him Saturday night? What how you talk? How could their charms work till midnight? And then it's Sunday. Devils don't slosh around much on Sunday, I don't reckon. Yes, reckon that's so. Gonna let me come with you? Of course. If you're in a beard. A beard? Tain't likely. Will you meow? Yes, and you meow back. Last time you kept me meowing all night, so old Hayes came out and started throwing rocks at me, and you said, "Darn that cat!" So I took a brick and I hove it through his window. Don't you tell. Oh no, I won't. I couldn't meow last time because Auntie wasn't watching me, but I'll meow this time for sure. Say, Huck, what's that you got? Nothing but a tick. Where'd you get him? Out in the woods. What do you take for him? I don't know. I don't want to sell him. Well, it's a mighty small tick anyway. Yeah, anybody can round up a tick that don't belong to him. I'm satisfied with it. It's a good enough tick for me. Sure, why, there's ticks aplenty. Oh, I could have 1,000 of them if I wanted to. Why don't you? Because you know mighty well you can't. This is a pretty early tick. First one I've seen all year. I'll give you my tooth for him. Let's see it. Is it genuine? Well, all right then. Great. and, if possible, somewhat snappy. Any questions? Very well then. Let us begin. Your Majesty, the first animal for consideration.
Your Highness, it gives me great pleasure to present the sweetest songbird within my possession, my throne.
Thank you. That's very nice. Thank you.
Next, Your Highness, the second animal for consideration.
With your royal permission, Your Majesty, may I present my most celebrated songbird, the linnet.
Thank you. That's very nice. Thank you.
His Highness has heard enough.
Thank you! Thank you! Next!
And so the king continued in this way, listening to one songbird, and then another, and then another. Among so many bewitching songsters, he found it impossible to decide, and all the more difficult because the promised penalty for error was so terrible. Indeed, there was speculation throughout the kingdom that Hubert would be unable to decide, so his minister and soothsayer privately conferred.
I believe our young king may be losing his courage.
I believe his cool head is gone.
And I regret that his people and dynasty may be doomed.
And I shudder to think that includes us.
And so the hours waned and spirits drooped. The young king looked nervous, and a deep melancholy was beginning to descend over the palace. Fear quickly spread throughout the kingdom that Hubert was unable to decide, and distress settled upon all the subjects in the land. And finally, as it was becoming clear that all was surely lost, from the remotest parts of the palace was heard. The nightingale, and a light spread over the king's face, and as he began to raise his scepter to indicate that the sacred bird had been found, there was a hideous interruption at the door.
My lord, the king, I pray you pardon me, for I meant no wrong. I have no father and no mother, but I do have a goat and a donkey, and they are all in all to me. My goat gives the sweetest milk, and when my dear good donkey brayed, it teaches me that there is no musical like to it. So when my lord the king's gesture said that the sweetest singer among the animals should save the crown and nation, and moved me to bring him here, well,
And the poor peasant maid humiliated, and her disastrous donkey led away, the king at last began to proclaim his choice.
Ah! Let the bells proclaim that the choice has been made, and that the king, the people, and the dynasty are saved. From henceforth, let the nightingale be honored throughout the land, and publish it among all the people, that whoever shall injure a nightingale, or insult it, shall suffer death. The king has spoken!
Yes, and all that little kingdom was drunk with joy. The bells pealed, and the celebration continued. And from that day forth, the nightingale was a sacred bird. So all was well in the kingdom. Many months passed, and at last summer came. Now it so happened that the young king was very fond of the chase. And so, on the first golden day of summer, he said,
A perfect day for the chase.
A perfect day for the chase.
Perfect day for the chase.
Wonderful! It's unanimous. Call out the horses, the hounds, let us begin.
And so, in the brilliant company of his nobles, the king rode forth. Through dale, around streams, onward they rode, none came. He waited in hope of rescue, but all for naught. And finally, when his hope was all but gone, from the still wastes of the night he heard.
Can it be true? It is the sacred bird. The prophecy is fulfilled. Now I will be saved.
And so the little king waited, and the nightingale sang. And the king waited, and the nightingale sang. And the little king waited, and all through the night and into the next day the nightingale sang. Yet still no help came.
I have failed. I've chosen incorrectly. And all is lost.
Another day passed and another. The king grew feeble and weak, and as he came to what he knew must be his last moments, a final prayer came from his heart.
Oh, that but once more I could see my family, my subjects, my home. Please?
And at that moment he heard the sweetest song to ever enter his ears.
Oh, that song! Sweeter by far than the nightingale. Now the oracle fulfilled. My family, my home saved. Hello, noble beast. We will let bygones be bygones.
So the donkey came to the little king, and with the king on his back, they returned to the palace, where there was great rejoicing. And when the king returned to the beloved people, and his strength after restored, he made proclamation concerning the incredible turn of events.
My loyal subjects, officials to the crown. From this day forward, let it be known throughout the land that the ass shall be sacred and invaluable. Secondly, let this ass be my chief minister of the kingdom. And thirdly, when the good and fair owner of this animal, the lovely peasant maid whose beauty we observe today, reaches her 15th birthday, she will become my queen. The king has spoken.
And such is the legend of the kingdom of Seneca. And through this legend, we are informed as to why, throughout many centuries, an ass was always the chief minister of the royal cabinet. Still the case in most cabinets to this day.
Author's note. The legend of Sagenfeld is what is commonly referred to as a fairy tale. This puts it under the same general heading as legends, fables, and political speeches. I've had the opportunity to visit almost every country in the world in my day. Italy with her artists and inventors, Michelangelo, Da Vinci. Well, they write it Vinci and pronounce it Vinci. Foreigners always spell better than they pronounce. Ireland was an interesting and colorful land. I was inspired by their patron saint there, St. Patrick. Here was a man who inspired fistfights and legends in equal proportions. St. Patrick was one subject whom I've always felt obligated to address.
The fable of St. Patrick. 15 centuries ago, St. Patrick came to Ireland and found it to be a prosperous republic. So he looked about him to see if he could find some constructive task that he might undertake. He observed that the president of that republic was in the habit of sheltering his great officials from deserved punishment. So he lifted up his staff and smote him, and he died. He found that that the Secretary of War had been so unbecomingly economical as to have laid up $12,000 a year out of a salary of $8,000. So he killed him also. Then he discovered that the Congress of that country, which pretended to be a model of virtue, was something less. That Congress had no God but party, no system of morals but party policy, no vision but a bad vision, and no reason or excuse for existing anyhow. Therefore, he massacred that Congress to the last man. And when he finished his great work, he said, in his figurative way, "Lo, I have destroyed all the reptiles in Ireland."
There isn't a country on the face of the earth that doesn't have its share of criminals. Although it could probably be proven by facts and figures that there is no distinctly Native American criminal class, except Congress. I hesitate to bring up so unpleasant a subject this close to intermission, but if you'll try and make it back, we'll try and make it up.
Mustn't ever tell anyone.
to choose me and I'm to choose you? Because that's just what you do when you're engaged.
Why, it's so lovely. I never heard of it before.
Oh, it's ever so fine. Like, me and Amy Lawrence, we used to...
Oh, Tom! Then I am the first girl you've been engaged to.
Oh, Becky, please, won't you stop crying? I don't care for her no more.
Yes, you do.
Oh, Becky, please, won't you stop your sobbing? But Dick! Oh, Becky, won't you say something? Here, Becky, won't you take it? Please?
Oh, Tom! Come back,
Dear Mark Twain, my life is a failure. I have adored wildly, madly, and she whom I love has turned coldly from me and shed her affections on another. What would you advise me to do?
Dear discarded lover, you should set your affections on another also, or on several, if there are enough to go around. There is an absurd idea disseminated in novels that the happier a girl is with a man, the happier it makes the old lover whom she has plighted. Do not allow yourself to believe any such nonsense. The more reason you give a girl to regret that she did not marry you, the more comfortable you will feel about it. It isn't poetical, but it is muddy sound doctrine.
Dear Mark Twain, why do you speak so disparagingly of babies? I have a baby myself, and I can assure you that they are a thing of beauty and a joy forever.
Dear young mother, you are doubtless referring to my statement that a baby is an inestimable blessing and father. But do you think a baby is a thing of beauty and a joy forever? Well, the idea is pleasing, but not very original. Every cow thinks the same of its own calf. I honor the cow for it. We all honor this touching maternal instinct wherever we find it. But really, ma'am, when I come to examine the matter in all of its bearings, I find that your assertion does not assert itself in all cases. A soiled baby with a neglected nose cannot conscientiously be regarded as a thing of beauty. And babyhood spans but just 3 short years. So no baby is competent to be a joy forever. Aside from that, I agree with you.
Dear Mr. Twain, again last week you publicly endorsed the filthy habit of smoking, just as you have similarly endorsed the drinking of coffee and other stimulants and the playing of games of chance. Please take note of the following statistics. 1. A man who reaches the age of 65 and smokes throughout his life wastes hundreds of dollars of earnings, damages his health, and risks his mental stability. And 2, the drinking of coffee or its equally pernicious counterpart, liquor, leads thousands of people to infamy, disgrace, and violent crimes every year. And 3, games of chance are Lucifer's children. At least 1/2 of 1% of the nation's wealth is annually diverted into these nefarious channels, never to be used for honorable purposes again. And you support this. It gives me great honor to stand up and be counted as one individual who is eternally opposed to such vices.
Dear moral statistician, I do not want any of your statistics. I shall take the whole batch and light my next cigar with them. Your kind of people are always ciphering out how much a man's health is injured or how much his intellect is impaired in the course of 92 years' indulgence in the fatal practice of smoking, and in the equally fatal practice of drinking coffee, and in playing billiards occasionally, and in the taking of a glass of wine at dinner, etc., etc., etc. You are blind to the fact that most old men in America smoke and drink coffee, although, according to your theory, they should have died young. Now, I don't approve of dissipation, nor do I indulge in it either. But I do not have a parcel of respect for a man that has no redeeming petty vices. And I don't want to hear from you again. In fact, I think you are the very same man who just last week read me a long lecture about the degrading vice of smoking cigars, and then came back, in my absence, with your reprehensible fireproof gloves on, and carried off my brand new harbor stove.
Mr. Twain, the young woman reporter is here to see you.
Ah, yes. Send her in.
How do you do, Mr. Twain? I'm Cornelia Cobb with Daily Thunderstorm. I've come to interview you.
Come to what?
To interview you.
How do you spell that?
What do you want to spell it for?
Oh, I don't want to know how to spell it. I want to know what it means.
Well, this is astonishing. I can tell you what it means if you like.
Oh, yes, yes. Much obliged to you.
Int, I-N. Ter, T-E-R. Inter.
So, you spell it with an I.
Why, certainly. What did you think you would spell it with?
Well, I hardly know. You see, I have it unabridged here, and I was hoping to find a picture of it.
Why, sir, they wouldn't have a picture of it. I beg your pardon, but you do not seem as intelligent as I had expected. I mean no harm in that.
Oh, don't worry. Many people find that an interesting quality of mine. They speak of it with rapture.
Yes, I can imagine. But about this interview, customarily it consists of the interviewer asking questions and the interviewed answering them. Will you let me ask you certain questions calculated to bring out the salient points of your public and private history?
All right, but I must warn you, I don't have a very good memory.
Oh, that doesn't matter. Just do the best you can.
I will. I will put my whole mind to it.
Thanks. Are you ready to begin?
Ready?
How old are you?
19 in June.
Indeed. I would have taken you for 35 or 40. When did you begin to write?
In 1836.
But how could that be if you were only 19 now?
I don't know. It does seem rather curious, doesn't it?
Whom do you consider to be the most remarkable man you've ever met?
Aaron Burr.
But sir, you could never have met Burr if you were only 19 now.
Now, if you know more about me than I do, what do you ask me for?
Well, it's only a suggestion. How did you happen to meet Burr?
Well, you see, I was at his funeral one day, and he turned and asked me to make less noise.
But good heavens! If you were at his funeral, then he must have been dead. And if he was dead, how could he care whether you made a noise or not?
But I didn't say he was dead.
But wasn't he dead?
Well, some say he was, others say he wasn't.
What did you think?
I don't know. He always was a peculiar man in that sort of way.
Still, I can't understand this at all. You say he spoke to you and that he was dead?
It wasn't any of my business, because it wasn't any of my funeral.
Let me ask you about something else. What is the date of your birth?
Monday, October 31st, 1693.
What? That would make you 180 years old. How do you account for that?
Why, I don't account for that at all.
May I ask you about your family?
Certainly.
Have you or had you any brothers or sisters?
Yes. No. I don't remember.
Now that is the most extraordinary statement I ever heard.
Why?
Look, that picture on the wall there. Isn't that a brother of yours? I've heard you have a brother.
Oh, yes, yes. That is a brother of mine. That's William. Bill, we call him. Poor old Bill.
Why, is he dead?
We never could tell.
Oh, he disappeared.
Oh, no, we buried him.
Buried him without knowing whether he was dead or not.
Oh, he was dead now.
I can't understand this. If you buried him and you knew what he was dead.
No, we only thought he was dead.
I don't understand this at all.
You see, we were twins, Bill and I. And when we were 2 weeks old, one of us drowned in the bathtub. Some think it was Bill. Others think it was me. I don't know. But I will tell you a secret now, which I've never revealed to another living creature before. One of us had an odd mark, a large mole on the back of his left hand. That was me. That was the child that drowned. Very pleasant company. If she hadn't run off, I'd have shown her how to conduct an interview with a subject as cooperative as myself. I always loved to give advice. My wife and I had 3 children, and I always gave them advice. Fortunately, they seldom took it.
Advice to little girls. Good little girls ought not make faces at their teachers for every trifling offense. This retaliation should only be resorted to under the most aggravated of circumstances. Also, if you have nothing but a rag doll stuffed with sawdust, while one of your more fortunate little playmates has a costly china one, you should treat her with a show of kindness nevertheless. And you ought never to make a forcible swap, unless your conscience would justify you in it, and unless you know you are able to get away with it. Also, you ought never to take your little brother's chewing gum away from him by main force. It is better to rope him in with the promise of the first $2.50 you find floating down a river on a grindstone. This eminently plausible fiction has repeatedly led the unsuspecting infant to financial ruin and disaster. And if at any time you find it necessary to correct your little brother, do not use mud. Mud will spoil his clothes. It is better to scald him a little, for then you secure his immediate attention. And your hot water, it has the tendencies to remove the impurities from his person, and possibly the skin, in spots. Furthermore, if your mother tells you to do something, it is wrong to reply that you won't. It is better to intimate that you will, and then afterwards act accordingly to the dictates of your own best judgment. And finally, good little girls always show marked deference for the aged. You ought never to sass old people, unless they sass you first. The year 1880. The place, France. During this period, men of honor with disputes of serious nature met on the battlefield to take part in that glorious but terrible tradition, the French duel. In this typical year, over 200 such duels have already taken place. Curiously, there have been no recorded fatalities, casualties, or injuries. This has led certain cynical people to observe that the principal danger of dueling lies in the fact that since the duels are always fought in the open air, the combatants are nearly certain to catch cold. Others have referred to the French duel as the most health-giving of recreations. These are serious charges, particularly since France is a nation of honor. In order to moderate this talk, therefore, we invite you to observe the following events, faithfully recorded by an impartial observer whose only interest was to preserve the truth.
Mon Dieu! Mon Dieu!
My friend,
Mon ami! But what brings you here? I thought you had returned to America.
did you think I could return after learning of your duel?
The duel.
Gambetta, you must allow me to act as your second.
You are a true and good friend, but you have no experience in these matters.
I will learn quickly. But let's attend to the matters at hand, shall we?
Yes, yes.
First things first.
Yes, of course.
We shall draw up your will.
What? My will? My friend, you are delirious. Please sit down.
But Gambetta, I never heard of a man in his right mind fighting in a duel without first writing up his will.
I thought as much. You're beginning a fever. Now listen to me closely. But we must determine immediately on my last words.
Your last words?
What do you think of this? I die for my God, for my country, for freedom of speech, for progress, and the universal brotherhood of man. Well?
Well, if you were dying of a lingering disease, perhaps, but on the field of honor, shouldn't your last words be somewhat brief?
Brief? Brief. I die that France may live. That's it. I die that France may live.
But I fail to see the relevance, my friend.
I'm dying words. Relevance is of no importance. Drill is what you want. I must memorize them. Die that France may live.
But Gambetta, what about weapons? Has the choice of weapons been made?
Weapons? I am exhausted. I will leave the details up to you and the other second. You are now authorized to go and act in my behalf. Good luck. And God be with you.
Of course, my friend.
Permit me to introduce myself. I am Dubois, the designated second for Monsieur Photo.
I will be acting out like capacity for Monsieur Gambetta.
Very well.
As such, I am authorized to make the following proposals. Classifique as the place of meeting, tomorrow morning at daybreak as the time, and axes as the weapons.
Access? Yes. Have you considered, sir, what would be the inevitable result of such a meeting as this?
Well, what would it be?
Bloodshed.
Well, if it is a fair question, what was your side proposing to shed?
Of course, of course. I'm speaking only in jest. My principal and I would enjoy axes. In fact, we prefer them. But the French code does not allow axes as weapons. You must alter your proposal.
French Pope?
Oui.
How about Gatling guns at 15 paces?
Quite impossible.
Shotguns?
Not permitted.
Rifles?
Out of the question.
Well, how about empty milk bottles at 3/4 of a mile?
Excellent idea. Ah, but no. It is a good idea, except for the danger to disinterested parties passing in between.
Of course.
Now, I suppose that I could.
Suggest a weapon?
It would be my pleasure. Now, what could they have done with those?
I must congratulate you on carrying 2 instruments of such bulk without any assistance.
Wait, the cartridges.
2 cartridges.
Correct.
I suppose this means that each participant is to be allowed just 1 shot apiece?
The French code allows no more.
I am afraid my mind is growing confused under this strain. Perhaps if you would be so good as to recommend a distance, we could conclude this business?
Certainly. Considering the nature of the confrontation, the elements of danger both external and internal, I would recommend 65 yards.
65 yards with these instruments? Squirt guns would be deadlier at 50. My friend, let us remember that we are banded together to destroy life, not make it eternal.
Oui, but I cannot abide the thought of such bloodshed.
Bloodshed with these instruments? At this distance, the danger would be eye strain, not bloodshed.
Very well. I'll make a final consentment of 35 yards. But let the massacre be on your head. Good day, sir.
Gambetta, I have made the field.
Fatal arrangements. I see it in your eyes.
Yes, the arrangements have been made.
The weapon. Quickly, what is the weapon?
This. Gambetta! Speak to me, Gambetta!
I'm afraid the appearance of outward calm, which I have forced myself to exhibit, has taken its toll. But away with weakness. I will confront my fate like a man and a Frenchman. Behold, I am ready. I am calm. Reveal to me the distance.
35 yards. Gambetta! Gambetta, wake up!
35 yards? Without a rest? But why ask? Since murder was that man's intention, why should he concern himself with small details? But remember this, in my fall, the world shall see how the chivalry of France meets death.
But if the arrangements are not acceptable to you, I could...
No. The wheels are in motion. The massacre is now unavoidable. The hour. What is the hour fixed for the collision?
Dawn, tomorrow.
What? That's ridiculous. Absurd. No one is up in such an hour.
You don't mean to say you wish an audience?
This is no time to bandy words. I'm astonished that Fortune would agree to such a thing. Go at once and request a later hour.
Of course.
I have the honor, sir, to bid you a good day.
And a good day to you, sir.
I wish to relay the news that my client strenuously objects to the hour chosen.
Oh.
We ask that you will consent to changing the hour to 9:30.
Not at all. Any courtesy that is within our power is at your service. We agree to the proposed change.
I have the honor to beg you to accept the thanks of my client. Now, I'll meet you tomorrow morning shortly before the designated hour to make the final arrangements. I've already provided for the chief surgeon, the consultant surgeons, the porteurs, the newspaperman, the coroner, the police, the head undertaker, and the hearse. If the weather holds, I believe we'll have a very nice crowd. Good day, sir.
Well, mon ami, I presume the matter has been settled in a satisfactory manner?
It has, my friend.
Very well. At what hour is the engagement to begin?
Dawn, tomorrow. Not 9:30, I'm sorry.
Good.
to retire and rest.
Rest? Rest? Rest is for women, for children. A man with his life in the balance, he does not rest. He waits. He watches. He thinks. Well, perhaps a short nap, but wake me early, for I wish to contemplate my fate.
A remarkable phenomena, this French duel. True, it is the first I have been associated with, and I am understandably upset. But Gambetta is also upset, and he's been a participant in more than 20 of these contests. Perhaps I should advise him of what his physician told me, that if he continues the duel in this manner for another 15 years, he could possibly endanger his health. But this isn't the time for that. My duty now is to remain with him until the night is past. Yes, until the night is past. Gambetta!
Ah, what's wrong?
It's time.
I have the honor, sir, to bid you good day.
And a good day to you, sir.
I trust you spent a comfortable night.
Very comfortable. And you?
Extremely comfortable. No, exceedingly comfortable.
Excellent. After all, it could prove to have been someone's last night if the results of the duel are fatal.
Allow me to suggest the weapons reloaded.
Allow me to endorse your suggestion.
The weapons are duly loaded.
Allow me to suggest the distance be paid.
I support your suggestion. Gambetta. Gambetta.
I would not like a cigarette.
I didn't offer you a cigarette.
Of course not. I don't smoke.
Attention, attention. By the authority invested in me in the government of France, I order all witnesses to remove themselves from this unsafe place and take position directly behind the duelists.
Gambetta, take heart, my friend. Considering the nature of the weapons, the limited number of shots allowed, and the distance involved, there is a considerable likelihood that both of you will survive. Cheer up.
I am myself again. Give me the weapon.
One of me, my weapon.
Ready on the right,
Yes.
ready on the left.
Wait.
My friend, stand at my back. Do not desert me at this solemn hour.
I am here. You have my word.
Ready?
It is not death I fear, but mutilation. Fire!
My God, it's a miracle. What happened?
Mon ami, congratulations, congratulations. You are the first person to be entered in a French duel in over 40 years. It is likely you receive the French Medal of Honor for this. That is a distinction that you escaped.
Oh, I must say, that as long as I am in my right mind, I will never be afraid to stand before a French duelist.
Ah, such courage, mon ami.
But as long as I have all my senses, I will never, never, never consent to stand behind one.
This is the end of the presentation, and I've been asked to bring the festivities to a close with any random observations that may have registered in the course of the proceedings. First, I have never before witnessed a theatrical presentation of this nature. That is, a theatrical tribute to one man and his work that was more ably produced,
or richly deserved.
The decision to honor so worthy and magnificent a subject reflects not only upon the source material, but upon the great humility of the author as well. Many years ago, I was approached by a young man who had done significant studies in my work, a fact verified by his sleepy and disoriented look. He asked me what single quality a writer most needed to become successful. I was gratified to be able to answer promptly, and I did. I said I didn't know. The remainder of my personal philosophy can be summed up in this: always do right. This will gratify some people and astonish the rest. Good night.